This is an R Media podcast.
It's taking. Can you believe I'm actually saying that?
I can't
I
believe
actually
it,
can't believe the king of maximalism is saying about taking away. A home is beautiful when I think there's meaning and there's a narrative. It's it's not just about more is more, but sometimes more is more. But it's
I
not
couldn't
always
agree
about-
more. This episode is brought to you by Luxaflex, transforming homes with beautiful, functional window coverings designed to change your life and lifestyle. Today's set has been thoughtfully curated by Oz Design, sharing life with you since 1979. Welcome back to The Edit, the show about your style and your sanctuary, where we step inside the homes, habits, and headspaces of the people who help us live better. Today, I'm sitting down with a true modern classicist, interior designer Greg Natale, the man who can lay a pattern on pattern, marble on marble, and still make a room feel like somewhere you actually want to curl up with a book and a bowl of pasta. We're going to talk about all the things, colour, proportion, and grown-up glamour in a really livable way, the one design rule he'll always break, and how to tackle a very real dilemma, building a home for 3 generations that still feels like a beautiful family house now, and it's easy to sell down the track. Greg's also stepping into our Room for Advice hot seat, answering your questions about multi-generational living, fearless colour in bedrooms, and how window coverings can completely change the mood of a room. And because this is The Edit, we'll finish with our mystery drawer, one chaotic corner in Greg's own home that proves even design icons are secretly human. Settle in, because this is one part masterclass, part pep talk for anyone who's ever been afraid about a bold stripe or a deep, moody wall colour. Greg Natale, thank you for coming on to The Edit. Welcome to our home.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Elle.
And in a sense, it's a bit like coming home for you because you've got a long history with Home Beautiful.
I have got a long history. So I was one of those lucky kids that from a very young age, my crazy mind decided to be an interior designer, and Home Beautiful is the first magazine I ever bought. So I used to collect it as a 10-year-old.
Oh, I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
And Home Beautiful was the first magazine I was published in the year 2000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I do have a special history with the magazine.
Do you remember the project that was published? Because
I
I
do,
have it in my
because
mind.
I do, because guess what I did?
You've brought it with you.
I went and grabbed the magazine out of my archive. I actually have an archive of everything that I've ever been in, and also a physical archive and a digital archive of everything I've ever been in.
Gosh.
I had all this planned out with a bookmark. It's here. So this place here. So what it was is that my sister got married, God, I'm showing my age, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And she just bought a little 2-bedroom townhouse. She was young. I redid it for her. It was funny is that I had a friend who was at Pacific. So this is when you guys were at Pacific. And she rang me and she said, do you have anything? And I went, well, this is a bit naughty of me because I'm actually technically working for someone. But yes, I do have
a project.
I do have a project. And she had just moved out into a new house.
Really?
So, but like the furniture was still there. Her clothes weren't even in there. So it was like about a day or two to shoot this house.
And so for our listeners, how would you describe it?
Look, it was minimal. It was definitely minimal. It was white on white. Have a look at it, Elle.
It was of the time, wasn't it?
It was of the time. It was of the time. I was showing my team. They loved it. They thought it was still great. I mean, I did this in 1994. So that's more.
You're kidding. That's incredible.
So what year are we in now?
2026.
So I did that 31 years ago. Look, Elle, I think it has stood the test of time.
Definitely.
What do
I
you
agree.
think?
Well, I look at it.
It was clean. It was minimal. It's of the era. So that era was dominated by Burley Caden Halliday, England Moore, John Pawson. So it's of this
they're
era.
all iconic interior designers.
Iconic interior designers. And, they're the interior designers that I really looked up to in that era. And I still do. I think, they're all creative geniuses.
When I look at this, the thing that strikes me most is how timeless the kitchen is. And that's something people are afraid to spend their money on. You want to make sure if you're spending a lot of money, you want it to last a long time.
I think that kitchen sofas, you want a level of timelessness because, like I said to you, with the sofa, the leather did get old.
Yep.
She I mean, her kids are now in their 20s.
Yeah.
So, as kids, the leather got old. So we reupholstered it in an amazing Knoll fabric.
Yeah.
I think those sort of things should be timeless. And I was speaking to a client the other day, and I feel like everyone is so serious at the moment about interiors.
I know.
And I was like, can we just have some fun? And you can have fun with color. You can have fun with paint.
Yeah.
Furniture can be reupholstered, but I think that there definitely should be a level of timelessness when you're doing a kitchen and bathroom. I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
talk to us about that color and fun. What is Greg Natale style?
Around that same era, around the same era, I did another apartment for another sister, and
Yeah.
I went the total other way.
How many sisters do you have?
I've got 4.
Wow.
So I've got 4.
Big family.
So it is a big family. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. So around that era, I went totally the opposite way. It still had clean lines, and the other sister said, I don't want that. So she said, I don't want that. She said, I want this.
That's actually a really good point about
so
communicating with professionals.
So she actually said, I want this, which I'm pointing to pattern. And it definitely pattern became part of the DNA of the practice.
Yeah.
So then Serena had a little 1-bedroom apartment. It's become really iconic. Around that time, I discovered Signature Prints in Florence Broadhurst.
Yes.
So you know that apartment?
Yes,
it was that
do.
apartment for that sister. And that's the apartment that really went viral at the time, broke through, won me my first award with Belle magazine. It was published by Wallpaper at the time, which is the design Bible.
It really is.
Yeah.
That is so impressive.
Definitely now pattern is part of what we do, but still clean lines.
Yeah.
I think in this world, either you're a modernist or a classicist.
Mm-hmm.
And I've sort of on my Instagram, branded myself as a modernist who loves maximalism. And I often get asked that. But really what it is just putting layers over clean lines. That's really what it is. So that's really what I do, is I put layers over clean lines.
So you've talked about 2 sisters' homes. What's your home like now?
So we live in the Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And
so for anyone listening, where is that?
So the Horizon is an iconic tower by Harry Seidler in Darlinghurst.
Yes.
So I'm a huge Harry Seidler fan.
Yeah.
So the kitchen and bathrooms are actually quite timeless.
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen is white gloss with a terrazzo floor.
Beautiful.
The bathrooms have a green terrazzo floor and one of my white mosaics.
Yeah.
And even the joinery is white gloss. All the cabinets are white gloss. I kept that really neutral because what happened is when we bought the place and we did it, it happened really quickly. So I was really unsure what to do.
Yes.
So then the decorating evolved. So it actually evolved. Jason, my partner, and I were in Paris, and he fell in love with like burgundy and maroon carpet, which is the color of Paris.
Oh,
beautiful. So then after we had done all the cabinetry and everything, we put maroon carpet down. And then I thought, you know what? It's only paint. So then we painted the doors and the walls maroon.
Amazing.
And then everything sort of started layering. We have like a midnight blue sofa and a midnight blue leather chairs.
Mm-hmm.
So now the apartment is predominantly maroon with pops of midnight. There's a bit of black marble and then the white cabinetry.
And so how do you pull it all together if you're using a lot of different colours and quite strong, bold colours? We talk about having a common thread or something that carries through the design. What is it for you?
Just out there, I think the easiest way to do it is to always have a starting point.
Yeah.
So just have some sort of starting point and some concept. Mm-hmm. And then actually put things down on some sort of mood boards.
Yeah.
And then you'll see how things are flowing. But look, for me, definitely the common thread in the apartment was all the white cabinetry, all the glossy cabinetry. So it was already starting looking a bit 70s.
Okay.
So then we went down that sort of like that late 70s era, which is actually my favorite era of design.
Yeah, it's great.
And then the color palette became burgundy, and then it had like these pops of these pops of blue. And then with metals, I actually mix the metal. I mix the metals.
That.
I love mixed
too.
metal. So there's brass and then there's some chrome. So I actually mix the metal. But there's, the theme of it is late 70s. So, out there, I'm sure that there's got to be, I think Canva. I think you can do simple mood boards on Canva.
Absolutely.
Just put things on paper, have like a starting point, have a concept, always go to that, always go back to your concept. Because when you're unsure, you ask yourself, will that work? Will that work? Will that work? Well, will that work with it? Just go back to your starting point and the concept. What happened with me, and I don't even do that with clients. Like I said to you, it happened really quickly. So I went really neutral. And then I actually did need time to go back and work out what was going to be on the floor, what was going to be on the walls.
Talk to me more about that, because it is such a common story, and I've done it myself, and I still haven't gone past updating the neutral on the walls. What is the thought process for you? You move in, you just go, oh, just do it neutral,
Look,
like
I think
canvas.
look out there. I think give yourself a bit more time.
Yeah.
It's just that we actually did not have time. We bought it, and then there was a really small window to renovate. We sold our last place. Try to give yourself a little bit more time. We actually are working on our new place, which I will talk about.
Yeah.
And I've given myself a lot of time.
Yeah.
And now that my office has, it's actually been a bit of a revolution. We actually are working in 3D now, which has been a game changer.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a program called Revit.
Yeah.
We were always an AutoCAD office, which is like drawing in 2D, very traditional, but drawing in 2D.
Yeah.
Revit is an Autodesk program which owns AutoCAD. So they
Okay.
are interconnected. So about like maybe 18 months ago, we made a decision to go into 3D. That has been a game changer.
Changed
So
everything.
I'm not sure out there's got to be some sort of like AI programs where you
Yeah.
can 3D your interiors. There
Yep.
has to be like something basic, but that's been a bit of a game changer as well. Is now we're designing in 3D and our clients see 3Ds and we do walkthroughs.
Well, walk us through your vision for your new house. So what's your new place compared to the old place?
Look, it is. It's not a revolution. It's an evolution
Yeah.
of like my last few places.
Yep.
Because I've been collecting art, and I've been collecting furniture,
Mhm.
and everything's coming with us. It's late 70s inspired, which is my favorite era, and Jason, my partner, loves that era as well. My favorite architects are Paul Rudolph in America,
Mhm.
Harry Seidler. Modern architects are David Chipperfield. And one of my favorite buildings ever is Halston, the fashion designer's townhouse.
What do
So
you
it's
love about it?
Look, I love how clean it is. I know this is hard to probably imagine or understand, but my own personal style is actually quite clean.
Is it?
Yeah, it actually is quite clean.
Wow, sorry, I didn't mean to sound so
No,
surprised.
I know. Everyone is surprised. So in this new place, you'll really see my own personal style. It's really clean, but when it comes to materiality, I do love rich materials. So I
Yeah.
love glossy textures. I love
Yeah.
marble. I love metal. So the materials there's a lot of terrazzo. So think Halston's townhouse.
Yep.
Really super clean, a lot of block color. The bedroom suite will be maroon as a bit of homage to this place. The main areas will be white and grey, a bit of a homage to the Halston's townhouse.
Yep.
And then the kitchen and living areas are going to be continuing with that blue theme that we love from this place. But it's clean, it's masculine.
So, Greg, we're talking about Halston and quite, fashion and interiors and high design. How do you make high design work for family homes, for example?
Look, I mean, I'll just explain who Halston was. Halston
Yeah, good idea.
was a fashion designer from the 70s.
Yep.
He really pioneered licensing, like the modern fashion designer and even modern fashion, what everyone wearing is from Halston. And like I said, he was the first one to go into licensing. And answering your question about how do you make that work, it's really easy. It's really,
Tell
really
us
easy.
how.
Well, for example, Halston's townhouse was really quite clean and minimal. And that's
Yep.
a really easy style to get at home.
Yeah.
Just like I did with my sister.
Yep.
My sister's first house was really much that style. Easy. The first one I did was just take the cornices off.
Okay.
So we had a clean canvas. That was
Yeah.
really inexpensive.
Yep.
And then we painted the whole place white.
That's incredible. Just
Well,
pare it back.
We just paired it all back.
Yeah.
We did the same thing with the bathroom.
Mhm.
The bathrooms aren't shot for that, but they were just all really clean and white tiles. All the joinery was super clean, and we added a lot of silver. So it's easy to take it. I don't know. Maybe for me, I think you need to take probably concepts and maybe just relax them a bit. If that doesn't sound too abstract.
No, I understand. We hear so much about the trends for people adding, so adding moldings and adding layers. But Sometimes.
It's taking. Can you believe I'm actually saying
I
that?
can't
I
believe it,
actually can't
actually.
believe the king of maximalism is saying about taking away.
But then you know what you're working with and you know how it feels. And to your point, having a more simplified home, particularly for a family, you can breathe. There's less
Totally.
clutter
But
around.
but but like we were saying early on, but then you can add the layers.
Yeah.
So look, I do love layers, and my clients are all walks of life, and they like different looks,
Hmm.
and we still do some clean work,
Yeah.
and we do all different types of work, and I think that I think for me it's more fun being a designer because you know like a project I would do in New York or London or Sydney or in the country or or a city pad, they are all different. I think
Yeah.
it's actually more fun to be versatile.
Yeah,
That's what I've
definitely.
liked about, what we do. And I think it's fun to try different styles and different colors and I think let's have
Mm.
fun again.
So let's go into the maximalism a little bit.
All right.
Because we were talking about materials before. You are wearing some fabulous shoes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank
they
you.
are a
They're mock croc.
Mock
Croc,
croc.
not real
We
croc.
like
Mock
the
croc.
mock.
I know, they're mock croc. Yes.
And it's a real thing. I was saying I want to get a pair of mock croc shoes, but in interiors as well.
Look, it's really about texture. So just like what I was saying about my type of minimalism,
Yeah.
I suppose my type of minimalism is more of like a Mies van der Rohe minimalism, who is if out there you don't know who Mies van der Rohe is, he really is the godfather of modernism.
Yeah.
But his materials were rich.
Yeah.
He used travertine and marble and
Mhm.
chrome. They were rich. So layering the materiality is really easy to do. And like I'm actually glad we're talking about my sister's apartment because I had such a low budget, but you picked up on the marble, but that marble splashback was just Carrara tiles.
Is it?
Yes. So it was
Oh,
done on a real budget. It was just Carrara tiles. So there definitely
yeah.
is ways to, get that, to get that richness and the layers.
So we mentioned Holston before and
Yeah.
fashion and interiors.
Yeah.
I often think, show me a person's wardrobe and I'll tell you what their house looks like.
100%. Yeah.
So you agree. Is that something you talk about with your clients?
Yeah. Look, a lot of times their wardrobe becomes a starting point
Yeah.
for their home.
And that can be for anyone, even if you're not working with an interior designer. You don't know where to start.
No.
Look at your
No.
wardrobe. What do you wear?
I mean, Elle, when I was at uni, the hardest part for me was always finding that starting point.
Yeah.
And now it's easier because, I get a brief and the
Yeah.
starting point can be the client or it can be, the house can be the muse or the area or
Yeah.
whatever. But that's always the starting point. And even for my own projects, the starting point's always the hardest.
Yeah.
But because I've been doing this for a while, I've had a few places and I know what I like. And like I said to you, my favorite era is the late 70s. It becomes easier, but the starting point can be your personal style.
Yeah.
It could be a piece of art that you want to bring.
Yeah.
It could be a coffee table that you want to bring over.
Yeah.
It could be the style of the apartment or house. But just once you form that starting point, it is easier to start a concept
And build
then,
on it.
yes, and then that concept really answers all those questions you have. What should my floor be, or what should the color of the kitchen be, or whatever.
Oz Design blends style and practicality to enhance everyday living. The new winter collection embraces warm tones, sleek finishes, and smooth silhouettes, offering timeless pieces designed to transform your home throughout the cooler months. Thoughtfully curated, each piece layers comfort, character, and effortless style to create a welcoming, lived-in feel. Balancing form and function, the collection helps you create a home that feels truly yours. Whether refreshing a corner or reimagining your entire space, discover designs made to live in. Explore the winter collection in-store or online with Oz Design. Well, I think this is a really good point to segue into this thing that we do called Room for Advice.
Yeah.
Where we have listener questions. So we've had some questions sent in that I think you are just the expert to answer.
All right, go for it,
So we'll
Elle.
bring those up. First one is, hi Home Beautiful, I need some advice on what to do about creating a home for 3 generations. My husband and I live with 2 teenage sons and my elderly parents are going to move in with us. The plan is to knock down our house and build something new. Our sons will probably leave home in the next 5 years, and my parents won't be with us forever. So we want to make sure that the house we build is one that will sell easily in the future when we need to downsize. How do we build a house for 3 generations now that won't feel like an apartment block when we come to sell in the future? So thank you from Carolyn.
Oh, this is becoming very common now, though.
Yeah.
It's very common. Look, the way we would do it is that we would put the parents on the ground floor, make sure the ground floor has got no steps.
Yeah.
And then there's the obvious things. I had to do it with my parents. Have
Okay.
grab rails everywhere. And now with grab rails, they don't have to just be silver and brushed stainless so they look utilitarian. You can
Oh,
get
what a
brass,
relief.
you can get different colors.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Like, so grab rails, you can get any different colors.
Yeah.
I would put the parents downstairs,
Mhm.
so that becomes the guest bedroom when you sell it one day.
Okay.
So off the guest bedroom, I would have the formal lounge room.
Yep.
But that's the lounge room where the parents hang out, so they have their own space.
Got it.
And in that formal lounge room, I would have a bar that's really a kitchenette,
Yes.
so they can cook themselves and have their own space.
Yeah.
So it is like a little, it is like a unit, but it's all connected.
Yeah.
Then I would have a family room that's quite close to the parents,
Mhm.
and that's probably where I'd have the parents hanging out.
Yeah.
And then, on the ground floor, we'd have like the kitchen and all that sort of stuff. Upstairs, I'd have the master, well, we don't say master suite anymore. I'd have the principal suite.
Yep.
Off that is like the boys' bedrooms. And then I would have like a rumpus room, which is just another lounge room. But you probably need
Okay.
and it's normal, you probably need about 3 lounge rooms. So
Yeah.
everyone has their own space and is quite comfortable. But I'd structure the house like that. But something that was pretty amazing about my parents built their dream home in 1978.
Yeah.
And my father really thought about the future. So there's no steps on the ground floor. There is upstairs because there was 4 kids. No steps. There was only 1 step to the front, only 3 steps at the back. So it meant they could get on old in the house. My mother's 93, still at home, which is
Really?
amazing. So she can, and then she's had to move downstairs now.
Yep.
So there was like a guest, so there was a couple of guest bedrooms.
Yeah.
But they really thought about it. About 10 years ago, when my father was still around, we had like grab rails installed. We had one of the bathrooms downstairs. Oh God, what's it called? Like accessible, where it means you have a really large shower, or the shower doesn't have any doors on there. There's
Yeah.
grab rails. We put grab rails around the house. So my mother's 93 at home, very comfortable. She lives really good.
That is
I know, but they
wonderful.
thought about that back then in 1978, which is pretty amazing.
Imagine to
He
have
was
that
thinking that.
foresight.
I know. He was really thinking about it.
Was he
This forever
in-
home. Yes, he was. He was a carpenter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. He actually was. He was a carpenter. And then in the 70s, he got into formwork, which out there, if you don't know what formwork is, it's the plywood mold
Oh,
that
yeah.
carpenters make where you pour concrete in.
Yep.
So he got into formwork in the late 70s. So yeah, he built the family home. So
That's amazing.
yes, he understood all that sort of stuff.
And you have good memories from living in that home?
Yes, I do have good memories, and I actually have an amazing memory. Yes, I do. Just generally, I have a really good memory.
Tell us.
No, I just have a really good memory.
Just overall.
Like, actually,
Everything.
I'm really digressing now. But on Sunday, I went and saw Elvis in concert.
Yeah.
And one of the guys said, "Do you remember Elvis?" And I said, "I actually remember." And they said, "How do you remember Elvis?" He went on Google. He said he died in August or September 1978.
Yeah.
Or 1977. I was 3.5. But it's actually the first memory. I actually remember when Elvis died.
Really?
Well, it was such a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we're really like going somewhere else now. But anyway, going back to
Carolyn's house.
But I know, going back to yes.
I love what you were saying about the parents being on the ground floor, but in the future, that's the guest bedroom.
And the formal lounge
And the
room
formal lounge room.
the bar, the kitchen is really the bar.
So you go from parents living to guest and entertaining.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah. It's easy. Yeah,
That's
so that's
so
how
good.
it doesn't become like this house with 3 different units.
Yeah. Well, Carolyn, hopefully that helps. We have got another question. This one is from Lisa in Subiaco, and this is perfect for you, Greg. She writes in, I have a colour quandary. I'm redecorating the bedrooms in my home. New carpets, blinds, paints, and bed linens. I love bright colours, but I'm scared I'll make a mess of things. I've tried mood boards, but I'm just not sure. Are there any rules around how to mix and match colours?
Look, I always say that you need to have a base.
Yep.
I would say it's Karen, isn't it?
This one is Lisa.
I would say, Lisa, go back to the mood boards and start with like I said, to a starting point and a concept. It could be an era.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Just
Yep.
start with something you love,
Yep.
because something will resonate. Start with something you love, but look, really easily, just have some sort of base.
Yeah.
Like, is the house going to be cream with pops of color, or is the house going to be one color?
Yeah.
There's really good neutrals that if you do want to paint the whole house a color, I think green always looks
Yeah.
amazing, or like light blue, which I'm obsessed with light blue again.
Yeah, me too.
And then you have like a secondary color, which let's just make this up. Just say, for example, we're going to paint your whole house light blue.
Yeah.
There's colors that work really beautiful, light blue, like red or burgundy.
Yep.
So you could have red or blue burgundy pops, and then have one more color. Just have one more color for fun. I actually love green with all that color combination. Maybe it could be green. So maybe just stick to like 3 colors.
And taking that back to fashion, light blue, denim.
Totally.
Everything goes with denim.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you're making this analogy to fashion, because fashion and interiors are more linked than what people think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So also I think colour on all surfaces. You've talked about it in your own home. You have these amazingly
Yeah, well, that's what we
strong
did.
burgundy carpets.
Well, and the walls as well. So
And the
you can do
walls.
that. Or else you could go the other way. You could paint your house white or cream
Yeah.
and just have the pops as well. We're just finishing a terrace house at the moment where the client is actually maximalist, but the house ended up being cream. So we painted the ceilings a color, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So the color's actually on the ceilings. And then something really fun, all the doors are matching the color of the ceilings in the bedroom.
That
so all the
is
doors,
so
so all
cool.
the doors are different colors, but with that amount of color, the walls are cream.
What do you do with window treatments then?
The window treatments are matching the ceilings in this house.
Okay.
Yeah, they're matching the ceilings. They're a more muted version,
Yep.
but they're matching the ceilings.
That is
for
really
this
quite
house.
exciting.
Yeah, but look, you could go that way, but I'm a big fan of color drenching.
Yes,
Just painting everything one color.
me too.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like you're talking about, you can get these colours in all different materials. So we're talking about the carpets, we're talking about the paint, we're talking about the, for Lisa and her bed linens, and in the window treatments, you can get burgundy, you can get deep green, you can get
Totally.
every colour, and it's not just in pattern curtains. So we were having a look the other day at swatches for the Luxaflex. They've got this amazing honeycomb product.
I love that product. It's so clever.
We're going to shoot with it soon.
It's so clever. Yeah, they do really amazing stuff, Luxaflex.
I couldn't believe the range of colours that it comes
Yeah.
in.
It's really, really good. We've been using a lot of Luxaflex lately, actually.
What
Just
do you
'cause-
like to?
Well, I just think that their products are really amazingly technically. Like the
Yeah.
honeycomb is so good for like east or west facing rooms.
Yeah.
In the office, we're really obsessed about the Luminette S-Fold product. It's an
Oh.
all-in-one blind and curtain, and it means that you only need one layer, and it's perfect for a bedroom.
That is fantastic. We'll link that in the show notes so everyone can have a
Awesome.
look. All right, Greg. I know that interior designers from the outside, you have this immaculate life, but I am wondering, are there any parts of your home or life where you have the drawer or the room with the random stuff in it? Because
At the moment, oh God, at the moment, everything the guest bedroom has become a dumping ground,
yeah.
and it's the end of summer here,
Yeah.
and it's super humid, and you know what's happening to one of my wardrobes is we're getting mold.
Oh no.
I know. So I
Ah.
bought these amazing like things on Amazon where they're collecting all the water, so all my clothes are dumped on the guest bedroom. But yeah, it's the guest bedroom has become the dumping ground. But I like every morning I'm really tidy. I fix the bed. and I tidy up, and it's always photo shoot ready.
Oh, it's good to have a routine.
It is good to have a routine, but yeah, the guest bedrooms become the dumping ground.
So we do a mystery drawer.
Yeah,
Have you brought in something from your
I have.
mystery drawer?
I have.
What
I
have you
have.
got?
So I've actually brought in one of my favorite books. Is the book on Houston.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So this here. So we'll just show everyone. So this is the house that's inspired. That's it there. That's the house that's actually inspired our new place.
It really, really is beautiful.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
And
I know,
again,
it's just so timeless.
We'll see
But
if we can find a link to this book
But
and
it's still
link that
got a
as
lot
well.
of but look, it's still got a lot of drama.
Yes.
So the type of the modernism or minimalism I like still has a lot of drama, has beautiful materials, glossy surfaces.
How would you describe that room if you were to?
So it's a so for us it's going to be our formal lounge room. It's
Yep.
a sunken lounge room. It's going to be our formal lounge room.
Mm-hmm.
And off that, it's going to have like a formal dining room, and it's going to have a bar that's also a kitchenette.
Oh, are you preparing for the future?
Well, I mean, look, my mother's 93, so I don't think that she's going to be living with us. Off that area is 2 guest bedrooms, so you know, yeah,
You never know.
you never know, you never know. And then there's like a principal suite for us.
Well, let's get into a few quickfire questions.
Awesome.
First word that comes to mind when I say home.
Home beautiful.
Oh, best answer ever. Here's a good one. At your house, shoes on or off?
Oh, on.
On.
I'm actually not that precious. On. We keep them on.
Nice and
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah, it's we keep them on.
Then we have signature Greg Natale colour you'll never quit.
I'll never quit. God, there's a few. All right, I'll say burgundy.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's burgundy.
It's a good one.
Yeah, well, it's actually going to be the color of our like principal suite is going to be burgundy.
So yeah, you
It's
won't be
going to be
quitting
there
that
for a long
anytime
time.
soon.
No, and it's a color of Paris. Who doesn't love Paris?
Oh, exactly. It's a city of love.
It is.
City of lights.
Yeah,
Decor splurge you will always justify.
a good quality sofa.
Couldn't agree more. Like you were saying, you can reupholster.
You
in
can
the future.
reupholster it. Now, the first sofa I ever bought 25 years ago, I still have.
Really?
And yes, yeah. So I saved up. It's by Minotti.
Mm.
I saved up, and Minotti still make new covers, and that's what's quite ingenious about their furniture. And we're buying
Ah,
new covers, and it's going into this new place.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's really, really good. And like I said to you, I've been collecting for 25 years on all the art and the furniture. So it's an evolution. This place.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's an evolution.
Next question I have is about wallpaper. Every house needs it, or only sometimes?
God, that's a hard one because I just love wallpaper. And look, I could say it needs it. And you know the way I've incorporated wallpaper?
How?
I'm actually lining the back of because I love wallpaper and I am a
Yeah.
maximalist. I'm lining the back of the wardrobes with wallpaper. Just
Oh, like a jewel box.
yeah, it's like a jewel box. Because look, wallpaper doesn't probably really suit this look, but I
Yeah.
still love wallpaper. So yeah, I think every house needs it. It could be anywhere.
Get it in anyhow. Tell us one design trend you will happily never see again.
God, this is a hard one. I get asked this all the time. Because every time I say this, it's so funny. Every time I say this, the office goes, we ended up doing it. Like I've said,
Yeah.
like for years I said feature walls, but now I love feature walls. I love a
Yeah.
wallpapered feature wall.
I think that's lovely. I think that really ties into what we try to do at Home Beautiful. It doesn't matter what you love, just do it.
Just do it.
Just
do
do it.
I think just do it. And like, I used to say terracotta, but now like terracotta's back. Look, maybe right now, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is probably maybe a pause on like bright gold accents in a home.
Okay.
Maybe just for now. I love brass and I love gold, and I wore
Yeah.
gold for you today.
Thank you.
Maybe bright brass right now. Just a bit of a pause.
Mhm.
Like now, the brass color that we're using is aged.
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe just bright, but not forever. Just
Just
a
a
pause.
pause.
Just a pause.
Okay, we've got a few more questions. What makes a home beautiful to you?
A home is beautiful when I think there's meaning and there's a narrative
Mm,
and there's a reason why you are doing things.
yeah.
And if there's a reason why you have painted your walls a color, you'll never ever get sick of it. Like
Yeah.
I'm never ever going to get sick of the burgundy, because for me, it's about that trip with Jason, and he fell in love with the burgundy carpet, and we just love Paris, and I think of Paris. So I'll never actually get rid of burgundy.
Yeah.
So I think houses with meaning, with narrative, then I think you'll just never get sick of it.
So you don't have to attach memory to a house. It can be to a color, to a finish, to a piece of furniture.
Yeah, I think definitely and that's what I love about maximalist homes. I love that maximalist homes are about people collecting and people collecting and people traveling and having meaning. Then sometimes, unfortunately, minimalist houses can be a bit soulless because they don't have any meaning.
They
But
can
that's
be.
what I do really love about maximalism, is that
Yeah.
it has so much meaning. It's, it's not just about more is more, but sometimes more is more. But it's
I
not
couldn't
always
agree
about.
more.
And look, and I don't, but and sometimes I know that design is always about restraint, but maybe it's not always about restraint. Maybe it
Yeah.
is about meaning as well.
Yeah.
So I think if your home has meaning, and the new place that we're doing has so much meaning. It's furniture that we've collected over 25 years. It's art we've collected. It's places we've traveled. It's colors we love. So I think if houses have meaning and it is really minimal, then you will never get sick of it. For me, it's really about meaning. But that's what I really love about maximalism, is all that meaning.
One of my favorite questions: what does a homemaker mean to you?
Look, a homemaker to me is someone who loves their home, who's got pride in their home. Look, I was really lucky, Elle. In 1978, my parents built their dream home. So there was so much pride in that home. I saw my mother decorate. My father built the house, all those layers of doing the curtain, and they went to Italy and they bought all their furniture and lights from Italy. It all came out on a container. So it's really having that pride in your home and keeping it tidy. Keeping it tidy,
says the maximalist.
keeping it tidy. But my maximalism is very tidy.
I have no doubt.
Yeah.
What about people who are just lacking a bit of confidence? They love interiors. They really want to express themselves. How can you get through that? I call it design paralysis, where you're stuck.
Look, like I said to you really, really early on, is somehow digging deep and finding that starting point and concept. There's, like I keep saying, is it the house? Is it, like you said, is it your personal wardrobe? Is it a favorite color?
Yeah.
Is it like a coffee table you don't want to part with and it's coming over? Is it like a piece of art? Just something that is a starting point. And then, like I said, get on Canva. Just put things on paper. And I'm going back to what you said about personal style and clothing.
Yeah.
When you leave in the morning, you always look in the mirror and you're like, are your shoes going with your belt? And actually, I've got a matching croc belt on.
Of course you do.
Are your shoes going with your belt? Is everything working? Think of your home like your wardrobe, like your dressing. Are things tying in? Are things flowing? Do you want something to pop?
Yeah.
Just think of it as like a wardrobe. That's really the easiest analogy. But, just get on Pinterest or get on Canva or just get something, just put something on paper. But just somehow dig deep and find that starting point and form your concept. I know it's easier said than done. And Elle, I struggle with my own places. It's really easy doing it for a client, and I struggle with my own places. Having a 3D program has made it easier because you can see it. But I'm pretty sure that AI and all that sort of stuff and ChatGPT, they all do 3D stuff. So it makes it easier to see it in 3D.
You might have a duck on the ceiling, but you could still get an image that looks close to what you need.
Exactly. I know. Or they'll put like some sort of weird thing, but it'll give you some sort of 3D visual representation. We can see, oh yeah, that's working. I like that. Because we all don't have a visual mind like us.
No, it's true.
So it's easy for us.
It's true.
It's easy for us to see things in our crazy brains.
I always say take a photo on your phone. If you've decorated your room, or even if it's just a bedside table, take a photo and look at the photo, and it becomes apparent pretty quick if something's not working.
But you know, you can put all this stuff in ChatGPT now, though. It's pretty amazing. You could put your photo of your room in ChatGPT and say, put red carpet, blue walls. It'll do it. It's pretty amazing out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
AI's the way.
AI's the way, but yeah, and also 3D programs is really good.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us on the
My
edit.
pleasure. Thank you for having us. It's been fun. Thank you.
I have to say, a bit of a masterclass.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. I feel like we've just had a private design consult and a pep talk to be braver at home all in one. If you want to see more of Greg's work, we'll link his projects, books and collections, including some of his Luxaflex collaborations, in the show notes. And if you've got your own room for advice dilemma, from multi-generational layouts to colour panic, email us or DM @HomeBeautiful and it might become our next question. This is The Edit, your style, your sanctuary, and a little design courage to take into the rest of your day. This episode is brought to you by Luxaflex, transforming homes with beautiful, functional window coverings designed to transform your light and lifestyle. Thank you to Oz Design for our beautiful set. Come and visit the experienced team in store and see the collection for yourself.
This is an R Media podcast.